Kia ora tātou and welcome to this Bowls Auckland coverage here at Royal Oak at the Palace. I'm Brett O'Reilly and with me in commentary position is Terry Blackburn, and we're going to bring you today two finals of the Bowls Auckland Champion of Champions season. The first of those is the Women's Champion of Champion 4's final, and that'll be followed at about 3 o'clock by the men's equivalent. Terry, what can we expect from these two very strong teams?
Yeah, so we've got the Bridge Park Bowling Club up against Carlton Cornwall Bowling Club. We saw Agi Motu last week win the Auckland Champion of Champion in triples. She was in excellent form, really dynamic up at that skip position. She has Leslie McClendon, Philly Akaruru and Andrea Wilson in her team. Of course, people will be familiar with Linda Ralph as the head of the Carlton Cornwall team. She was in the winning National Fours team earlier this year, and with her is Judy Wong, Jo Cheng and Lisa Appleyard. So no doubt a really good final here. Both of these teams would have featured at this level before.
Yeah, certainly on paper you'd probably say the Bridge Park team is a little more decorated, but any team that Linda Ralph is skipping is going to be pretty hard to beat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Incredibly consistent player. And of course, it's great to have you in commentary position. For those people who follow the game keenly, you'll know that Terry is a world champion. And on the Gold Coast last year, Terry and her partner Julie O'Connell were successful in winning the women's pairs in the disabled or para discipline at the Gold Coast, and that must have been a huge thrill for you, Terry.
Yeah, it really was. A lot goes into the preparation for something like that. We were just happy to be there, really, but to come away with a result like that was icing on the cake. We had a really good time doing it.
And won in pretty commanding fashion too. You guys played some great bowls. I mean, it was a pleasure to watch.
Oh, thank you.
So we're inside today at Royal Oak, which I like to call the Palace. I think that was a name that Alex Reid and I came up with, and so we'll obviously perfect conditions. Terry, the green here plays well. What do you think we can expect to see from these two teams?
Yeah, well, like I've commentated for two of the other Champion of Champion events here at this venue. And yeah, like you say, it's played really well. We're not contending with the wind or anything like that. So I imagine players will be quick to get into their work, finding their line, finding their speed, and the consistency will come from there. Excellent.
So Jo Cheng here on the mat, about to play. I think she's at number 2 for the Carlton Cornwall team. That's Jo, or is that Judy Wong? I might have. No, that's Jo. And as you can see, the indoor surface is playing pretty well. Even though it is inside, you do get a bit of variability in pace, don't you? And it's very wet outside.
Yeah. Yep, and we have seen last week, when that temperature comes down a bit, it can slow down, and that certainly happened at the latter half of the day last week. Of course, I think we're already getting some rain at the moment, so that might have a wee effect.
Andrea Wilson, the Bridge Park second, just playing her bowl there, and as you can see, Linda Ralph saying to Jo, look, stay on that hand. I think earlier in the season, Jo and Linda, I think, were runner-up in the centre pairs. I did the commentary for that final, and so Linda's had a pretty good season all around, but unusual to see her skipping.
You'd know more about that than I would.
Well, I think Linda's, I think, probably in the top 5 singles players in New Zealand. I mean, she's an incredibly consistent draw player. Has the shot play as well. Here's Leslie McClendon playing her first bowl for the Bridge Park team. And so Linda's fashioned an incredible a singles record for herself, both outdoors and on these indoor greens. And not tended to skip quite so much. Tended to be mainly leading, but this season she's skipped in Auckland events, and she's looked good.
Yeah, you're right. I guess being a specialist singles player, she's probably got a great range of shots, and that can come out in a skip position.
So Judy with her first bowl, playing with the bowling arm, which more and more players are playing with these days, allows people to stay competitive in the game, which is good to see, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's great. There's so many options out there to adapt to players' needs, which is great to see. We want as many people as we can playing the game.
We sure do. Grant Keats, who plays at the Takapuna Club where I play my bowls, or what little I get to play these days, has really perfected using the arm and runs coaching sessions now for players that are interested in trying it, and it's made a big difference. Well, there's a jack trail from Leslie McClendon.
Yeah, a bit of movement early in the piece.
I talked to Leslie just before the game, and they'd had a pretty tight semi-final where they just beat Jenny Jones from Te Atatu on the last end, and Leslie said to me, look, I didn't play very well, and I said, well, the beauty of bowls is you can have one bad game, but you can put that behind you and then get straight into it. So that's a good start for her. She'll be pretty pleased with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're so right. One bad game doesn't necessarily equate to a bad day. So she's got every chance to turn that around.
Judy just trying to find her way through there, but she just gets wrecked on that short bowl. So at this stage, it looks like it's Bridge Park holding, but plenty of room in there. And Linda's a very cool customer. Just really has done very well. Her twin sister also plays for Auckland, though not in this event today. Estelle Hickey, and their mother was the family originally are from South Africa, and their mother was part of the gold medal winning women's four at the 1978 Commonwealth Games in Victoria in Canada.
Oh, wow. Who knew?
Yes, there's a
You
little,
did.
little bit of bowls trivia for you.
Yeah, well, I know of Estelle Hickey, but I had no idea that they were related, let alone twins.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure they're twins. They're definitely sisters.
Yeah.
And they're very similar if they're not twins.
I can see it now, yeah, now that you've pointed that out.
And so Aggie just short with her first bowl. Linda on her backhand. She has that really interesting action with her arm, where she just sort of wobbles it a little bit before she delivers the bowl, but she's an incredibly accurate player. Just looks like she's pulling up short as well. Just not quite going to reach, but beautiful line. Let's have a look. We'll just go to a wide shot. Yeah, just pulling up short there. So Leslie McClendon says, yeah, we've still got one, her bowl, that trail there, that light blue bowl. So Aggie looking to reach this time. She had good line with the first, but just a couple of metres short.
Yeah, it's nice when you've got one of the two right, and then you can only improve on the other one. So if the line is good.
Looks like a better weight. Is she going to keep it up? No, just going to run into the ditch. So one at this stage to Bridge Park. Judy Wong having a look and just... Yep. Linda just checking how much more speed she needs. Let's see what the correction looks like.
The body language would suggest that she didn't execute that action how she would have liked.
No, a little bit. Well, she's obviously thought she was narrow, but it's holding.
Yeah, and it was almost a little straightener there that kept it holding.
And one it is. So the correction was good, much better than Linda thought. And so this first end of the Bowls Auckland Champion of Champion Women's Fours Final, it's 1 to Bridge Park. To Carlton Cornwall. What am I saying? and they're off to the early lead after one of the 15 ends that will play in this final. And you do get a few of those sort of straighteners on with the artificial greens. Not that you don't get straighteners on outdoor greens either.
Yeah, of course, it's all part of the game. It's always great when they work in your favour.
Absolutely. So Lisa Appleyard leading off for Carlton Cornwall. Yep, and Linda started clapping already, so she's obviously pretty happy with this. And, again, she's right on the jack. Great first bowl.
Yeah, that's an excellent start for Carlton.
So when are we next going to see you and Julie on the greens, Terry?
Hopefully, we will be back together for the Trans-Tasman, which will be early February next year in Wellington.
At Nonai again?
Yep, I believe so. So it'll be great to take on the Aussies again.
Yeah, you've built up, even in a short time, quite a rivalry with them, haven't you?
Oh, classic New Zealand-Australia rival. I think it's just a given, really, isn't it?
It sure is. So Whiliakaruru, the Bridge Park lead, just falling short. Some of our viewers will know that Philly is in the Cook Islands team. Played in the World Bowls, the same World Bowls where you won your gold medal on the Gold Coast, and the Akaruru family very famous. Their I think uncle was the Deputy Prime Minister of the Cook Islands and played for the Cook Islands in the 1990 Commonwealth Games here in Auckland at Pakuranga, and Philly's a real character. She's always got something on her head. And often it's flowers. Maybe a bit cold today, so she's opted for the beanie. But she's a great character and an amazing singer if you ever get the chance to hear her.
Oh, look at this bowl from Philly.
Great bowl, Philly. Yep, another very good singles player. Has played singles for Auckland in their development side and built up a good record there. I don't think is yet to make the top Auckland team. Linda Ralph occupies the singles spot in that team and pretty effective as well.
Yeah, I was involved in a octagonal development rep match up in Auckland last season. Or I suppose we're still in this season.
You were playing for Waikato?
Yes, and Philly for Auckland, and she was in the singles. I was in the pairs, so I didn't have to face her. But I did hear that the year before she'd won all of her singles games. So
she did. Great bowl there from Joe Cheng, just resting out the bowl of Whiliakaruru. So it's 1 to Carlton Cornwall as Andrea Wilson plays her first bowl on the second end, and she's on a good line as well.
Possibly some more movement happening.
Wow. This is like, touch of paradise with...
That's 3 touches already in one end.
Absolutely, in a row, which is pretty phenomenal. So Joe Cheng just getting her orders from Linda.
Just seeking further clarification on how far away that jack is from the front bowl, I imagine.
Absolutely. While the women's finals going, we've got the 2 semi-finals in the men's event going on nearby, and we'll be bringing you that men's final at about 3 o'clock this afternoon, all things being equal. Well, that's a bonus for the Carlton Cornwall team.
Yep.
Joe was narrow but managed to get on to one of Lisa Appleyard's bowls and has turned that up for shots, so it's 1-2 Carlton Cornwall. Andrea Wilson with her second bowl. Toucher with the first. What's she going to do with the second? On a good line again, maybe just a little bit quick.
Still a couple of options there for Carlton Cornwall. Of course, we've got Judy playing now.
And she's on a good line as well. Just looking, yeah, she just gets inside that Lisa Appleyard bowl and
Yeah.
potentially another shot.
A beautiful
Great
speed
bowl.
for that draw shot.
Aggie just changing Leslie McClendon onto the other hand, a little bit more open.
Yeah, I like that call. More open. She's got a couple of bowls there to land on. I played against her in that development rep match I was talking about before in the pairs, and she was certainly very effective skipping that pairs.
And very effective here. She just slides in, and that's the shot. Great bowl, Leslie McClendon.
Great bowls already from the women in this Champion of Champion Fours final.
Yeah, really high standard. I mean, the second end, the shot's been changing just about every bowl, which is great to see. Makes good viewing.
Definitely.
Judy swapping over to the backhand side now, looking to, I think, press that bowl out or get a little bit of jack movement. And again, on a very good line.
Just mispromoting one of Joe's bowls.
Keeps it up on the rink, which is a good lesson for players. Play with weight, but try and keep your bowl in play. That gives them a back bowl for Linda to play to, and Leslie with her second bowl now. Can she add more? She's on another good line.
Might need a clean run. I think her speed probably wasn't too bad for the shot she had in mind.
Absolutely.
A wider line would have seen her rest that bowl of Lisa's.
Turned up one of Joe Cheng's bowls, but hasn't changed the count. Though it does give Linda Ralph another second here. Let's see what Linda's got in store. She tends to stick to a draw game, or playing with a little bit of weight, but she has got a drive, and we may see that during this final. Yeah, I think she's definitely looking at that at sort of that forehand side, and maybe down there with a little bit of weight, looking for some movement on the jack or the bowl. Yep, definitely with weight. You'd never know from Linda's face, would you? And she's close.
Oh, what an excellent shot. Not quite getting the result she was after, but certainly in the area.
Yeah, superb piece of weight, wasn't it? And gives her another second. Possibly locks the shot bowl in a little bit now. So gives Bridge Park a little bit of protection, but also leaves it open for jack movement.
Yeah, Aggie would definitely feel better about things if she's able to add another bowl to the head.
She's on a good line, but again, just going to be short with that first bowl.
It isn't super easy for Linda to find that shot bowl, though, is it?
Yeah, you've got to really weave your way through those bowls. They are her bowls coming up, though, so there's no disincentive to play with weight on that side. Let's see what she does this time. So close with her first.
Yeah, she won't have to change too much.
And just gone a little bit wide this time. She get a feather off that? No, just a little wide. So 1 to Bridge Park. Signalled by Leslie McClendon. What can Aggie do with her second bowl?
Aggie was absolutely brilliant last week. There's no other way to describe it. She played all of the shots.
Yeah, very, very capable player. Again, played into centre for Auckland over many years, and beautiful piece of weight there, just a little bit wide. So it's 1 to Bridge Park. We're all tied up at 1 shot apiece after 2 of the 15 ends in this final of the Bowls Auckland Women's Champion of Champion Fours. Just great to see the impact these indoor greens are making on the game, isn't it, Terry? The fact that it's hosing down outside, but we can still have a really high quality game of bowls inside.
Yeah, and just more bowls throughout the year in general. Great for that social aspect as well.
And I think in the early stages of the development of these artificial surfaces, there was probably a little bit of reticence from players compared to playing on natural surface greens. But I think as the technology around manufacturing the greens is improving, I think that's starting to dissipate. Is that your view?
Yeah, I would say so. At the end of the day, people just want a good surface to play on.
Yep.
And like you say, with these improving, there's only upsides.
Absolutely, yeah. I said to someone the other day, really, bowls has become a 12-month of the year sport. It was historically a summer sport. Normally you wouldn't be playing champion of champion events in late May, and so the season has become much bigger, or much longer, many more events, and bowls are such a good sport for keeping people of all ages active and engaged. It really presents a very different membership option for people now.
Yeah, and that can only be a good thing.
Not so good with Lisa's first bowl. Fili Akaruru, really good weight with her first and a good opener. She's such a steady lead.
I was fortunate enough to play with Philly in the National Fours this year. She skipped my mum and I and a lady, Jo McKenna, and we didn't go particularly well up front for her, but she was absolutely amazing. And yeah, just really great to play for.
She's a great character, isn't she?
Yeah, really positive, and that's all you can ask for in a skip, really.
Lisa Appleyard with her second.
Looked to have a bit of speed out of the hand.
Yeah, well called, Terry, and she's just going to slide through that gap. Went a little bit further than I think we thought. So it's 2 at the moment to Bridge Park. Plenty of room in there, of course, and Andrea Wilson with her first bowl on this third end.
Might need to use Philly's bowl.
Yeah, that's a pretty good bowl. Gives them another shot, but also importantly a good position bowl as she turns that bowl of Phillies back.
Yeah, the head is still pretty open for players, but certainly Bridge Park have the upper hand at the moment.
Judy Cheng, Jo Cheng, very deliberate player. Quite impressed with her in the centre pairs. Takes her time. Obviously, works her way through her pre-shot routine. Not afraid to step off the mat if she's not feeling 100%. And it's going to be just over the head. Is it going to stay up? No. These long ends in these indoor stadiums, it looks a long way, and it's of course a big green, so players will be trying very hard not to be short.
Well, the mat is quite far up, so I wonder if that's maybe what's...
Just putting them off.
Yeah.
Yeah, well spotted, Terry.
I don't think they've had a length quite like this yet, so, and of course we are only the third end of the game. But yeah, just messing with their weight a little bit.
See, that's why you're a world champion player and I'm just a world administrator these days. Well spotted. Jo with her second. Let's see what the correction looks like. She's pretty interested in it, and it's definitely closer than the first.
Yeah, it'll come to a good home.
So Bridge Park holding 2 on this third end. Leslie McClendon, she'll be on her backhand. She played a good bowl coming this way on the first end. Drew a toucher. Let's see what she can do this time. Yeah, pretty good line.
Yeah, Aggie's interested, and for good reason.
Yep, that's another shot. Just maybe a metre, half a metre to a metre short. But adds to the count.
I really like that there's a coaching session available for those bowling arms, because it would take a bit of an adjustment to get used to them and get your timing right.
Yeah, and I think that's a great bowl from Judy. That'll be the shot. Yep, signalled so by Linda Ralph. Yeah, look, I think it's a great development in the game. And if Grant Keats, who is at Takapuna, Grant has had an exceptional season. His first season, I think, at our club, and has just done very, very well. Was part of our winning interclub team. First time we've won the North Harbour Interclub in many years, and was at the back end of our fours team and just played super well with it. He was a good player, when he was using the natural arm rather than the artificial one. And and it's just been a great initiative from Grant to organise these coaching sessions. And a number of players that probably would be out of the game now, or not able to play competitively because of various physical issues, now can play. And I just think that's an amazing opportunity. And for some people who probably can't play other sports, but have been competitive sports people in the past, can play bowls. So yeah, I think it's great. And I haven't tried it myself. Have you tried it, Terry?
No, I think we might have had a bowling arm and indoor bowls that I had a little play around with, but I was hopeless. Okay. Yeah, I would need coaching.
Well, that must be the only thing you're hopeless at indoor bowls, because how many national titles do we have indoor on the small mat?
Oh, I've got on the small mat. I've got 4 national titles as far as the open titles go. That 5th one eludes me.
And of course, your husband Sean Blackburn now playing for the Matt Blacks, as well.
Yeah, no, he's been he's had a few really stellar seasons, which has seen him earn his way into the Matt Blacks. He's going really well. Yeah, he was.
I had the opportunity of going down to watch the Trans-Tasman indoor at Pukekohe just a couple of weeks ago, and he was in. I can confirm he was in very good form and won a medal, I think, down there. So.
Yeah, he took away the mixed 6-bowl pairs medal.
Very good effort. All right, Aggie now, 1 down, and she's close. She's very close. Yep, they're clapping already. Well played, Aggie Motu. Great bowl.
Never looked like missing.
Now, what can Linda do with her last bowl on this third end? 1 to Bridge Park. So you'd never really know with Linda how it's going, and she's close.
She is very close. Bowl or jack, doesn't matter which. Not the gap, though. Oh, she certainly gave it a chance, though, and hey, she wasn't far away.
And with a good catcher there, that could have been a couple of shots to Carlton Cornwall, but it's not. It's 1 to Bridge Park, and they lead 2 shots to 1 after 3 of the 15 ends in this final of the Bowls Auckland Women's Champion of Champion Fours. And so, Terry, will you be going to the Indoor Nationals to get your 5th title?
No, I won't be. So this will be my first year since 2006 that I won't be going.
Wow.
Fully investing into this outdoor bowl scene at the moment.
Fantastic. Well, it's an investment that's paying off for you, because pretty amazing to win a World Championship gold medal in your first outing in a World Champs. Must have felt amazing.
Yeah. Oh, like I say, I really enjoy that high performance sort of framework. Being involved with what Bowls New Zealand has to offer has been amazing. We don't have a lot of that in indoor bowls. It's a smaller sport, run by volunteers. No one's paid. So, yeah. Being able to step into something like this that Bowls New Zealand offers it's been really worthwhile.
And who's been giving you most of your coaching?
A real mix, really.
Mm-hmm.
But but Kevin Smith down in Christchurch, he's
Yes.
our head para coach. So yeah, he's been brilliant, always available for a phone call. We have a lot of Zoom meetings and things, and yeah, it probably sounds like admin to some people, but it's amazing what you can cover off, and it just keeps everything at the forefront of your mind, really.
Yeah, Kevin's been an amazing servant to the para bowls. He and I started our bowling careers, I think, about the same time, a few decades ago, and he was a very good player in his own right, but has really devoted himself to coaching, and I think the results are starting to show for New Zealand. Great bowl from Philly there, just skidding past the Lisa Appleyard bowl for shot. And it's great to see more players showing an interest in playing for New Zealand in the para disciplines.
Yeah, and I think Kevin's been key to that. He's a huge advocate for bowls. He's a huge advocate for the vision impaired, the paras, and the deaf bowlers as well. And anybody that he comes across who he thinks might benefit from that sort of community, he really promotes it and gets them involved and stays in contact. So. Yeah, I believe he's a huge reason why those communities are growing in numbers, which is, what we like to see.
Yeah, and I agree, and I think it's good to see people who have been represented, other para sports, like as we were talking about it before we went on to commentary, my cousin Janie Parsons, who represented New Zealand in paracycling, now playing bowls, and I know there's a number of other para athletes that are now looking at bowls as a second sport for them as they get a bit older.
Oh, and it's ideal, isn't it? Such a great outlet for those competitive minds who like to play sport. Yeah, Jane, brilliant. Met her at the World Championships, and certainly one of the most inspiring women, if not the most inspiring person I've ever met. So yeah, pleasure to meet her and watch her perform and do what she does.
Yeah, she has an incredible backstory, she's an extended member of my family, but really great to see her do so well. We're very proud of her.
Yeah, and for bowls, as we're talking about, people coming from other sports, that they have so many transferable skills that they can bring across, whether it's from golf or swimming or, anything out there. It's all to do with that mindset, isn't it?
Sure is. Here in the final, it's Bridge Park holding 2. Andrew Wilson just adding another shot with her second bowl. And now Jo Ching with her last bowl. Just played with a bit of weight, but just a little wide, and actually probably a little heavy really for that shot. Good lesson for players. I always say you want your number 2 to be over, but typically you don't need to lose your bowl. You really want to make sure that if you're playing with weight, try and keep it up on the paddock. Leslie McClendon now on her forehand side. Good weight, just a little wide, but handy. And, yep.
Yeah, so you can see there Linda indicating the same shot, but also with the weight that she's after. It doesn't take a whole lot to move bowls around.
No. And particularly on these indoor surfaces or the artificial surfaces, the bowls tend to skid a little bit more, so it's not, there's not the same friction that you get on an outdoor green, so you can move them a reasonable distance with weight. Judy just really looked like she was drawing there, not far away.
I think her line would have been pretty good for what she was after.
Better one here from Leslie. I think this is going to be pretty close. Here it comes, just starts to turn now, and Aggie giving her some applause. Yeah, that'll be close to being third shot.
Oh, perhaps Linda is just looking for the draw. Her foot indicating the break line, I suppose, of where her bowl needs to come in.
Better line here from Judy. Is she going to have the weight? No, I think she's just going to be a little short again. and actually that's in a bad spot. Just getting in that line for that run shot, though with weight you can still get under there.
Yeah, it does reduce the options a little bit. Of course, it is never intentional. We've all been there.
Absolutely. So, quick conference between Judy and Linda, but it's Aggie Motu who will have this first bowl on the fourth end. Leads 2-1. Really nice action, isn't it? Very economical and very effective.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, should be disappointed with that. It's another bowl in the way, but I think Linda may play with weight. Looks like she's going to play the backhand. She's got two of her bowls on the way in on that side.
Yeah, she's lining up, it seems.
She gets Judy's bowl, but if anything pushes it away from the head, so it's definitely 2 to Bridge Park, possibly 3, but hard to tell from our commentary position and from that angle whether that back bowl of Leslie McLinden's is third shot. What can Aggie do with her last bowl on this end?
Aggie really only needed to improve on the speed, which I think she has, if she gets a clean run around her last bowl.
Oh, well played. Oh, that's a great bowl.
Yeah, beautiful shot. She has moved the jack a little bit, but I don't think she's moved it enough that she's cut down on any shots.
And definitely gives them makes the head a lot tighter in terms of Linda's opportunity to reduce, but you wouldn't bet against Linda getting the shot here. She's such a steady player. Again, just playing that reaching weight, looking for a turn. Is she? No, just going to get caught wide. Now, I'm sure the measure will be out here. Let's have a look. Out comes 1. Okay. Out comes 2. I think they'll measure the Carlton bowl first, because I think there's a couple of Bridge Park bowls in this measure. So that's Linda Ralph's bowl. That's not in. So just checking which is the closest Carlton bowl. Okay. Alright. That's not in. And this will be the last one of the Bridge Park bowls. It could be a shot. And that is. So 3 to Bridge Park. And that pushes them out to 5-1 after 4.
Yeah,
of
so
the. That's right.
this will be the 5th end of a 15-end final. Philly, I notice, paces out exactly where she wants to put the mat, which is a great process. We all talk about how important the mat placement is, and of course the jack length.
When you and Julie won your gold medal at World Bowls, did you have a preferred length that you played over there?
Yeah, we did. The game plan pretty much the whole way through, and it was based on how it went over at the Multi-Nations earlier in the year. Of course, also at the Gold Coast, was that we would play full length, so pretty much 2-2 was the game plan there. Of course, it ended up being quite different for the final, where the green was so slick compared to what we'd been playing on for a couple of weeks.
Yes.
I think Alex Marshall had said it was running at about 19 seconds, and of course we'd been playing on about 13. So
That was at Helensvale, yes?
yeah, and I think, we come across 19-second greens here, of course, but when you've been playing consistently on those, anywhere between 12 and 14 seconds, It was quite a shock to the system.
So how did you adapt to that, Terry?
Not particularly well.
Oh, now come on! I think you're being very modest. I didn't see that final live, but I understand you played very well.
I think I had some moments possibly just at the right times, but I think overall it wasn't to the standard that we'd been holding ourselves to. So it was really just a matter of keeping your nerves more than anything. I do remember having a little mantra going in my head by the end of it, and I think it was something silly like low, slow, don't let go, because it was that quick. Yeah, and I think any time I let the bowl go where it felt good, I thought this is too heavy, because it was just so slick.
Yeah, I was there the following day and watched Taylor win her gold medal, and wow, it was slick. It was very, very quick. Great bowl there from Philly. That's 2 to Bridge Park, and at this stage it looks like Philly just getting a little, the Bridge Park team just getting a little on top up front.
Yes.
Through Philly and Andrea, but it's still early days in this final.
One thing that Taylor did really well, and it's something I'll keep in mind for future, is she was getting her line really well, not quite finding the speed early on, but in her head, I think she approached it with a lot of patience. I remember her talking to me, patience. She wasn't going to play around with the line, trying to get the weight. She was going to stick to the weight, stick to the line, trust that the weight will come. And I think perhaps that was something I could have done better in our final. I think I probably played around with the line a little bit as I tried to find the weight, and of course that wasn't probably the smartest way to go. But she's a very smart bowler in that sense, very experienced, and she played exceptional over there. Yeah,
I think that's a really good observation. Watching that final, I think Taylor was struggling to get the jack where she wanted to get it. And quite often with her first bowl, she was sort of a metre or more past, but probably in her own mind where she hoped the jack would be. And it was really great bowl there from Joe Cheng. Saves the day for Carlton Cornwall, who were 3 down, and that's a good bowl from her. And then I think the first end she played, she actually got the jack to the 2 metre, playing towards the south side. I think she got a 3 or a 4 that end, and then boom.
Yeah.
It just the switch was on. As you say, she'd been playing good line the whole game, and her whether that took a bit of nerves out or whatever was impacting her speed, and from there she pretty much made it. Made every post a winner.
Yeah, that's it. And I think another thing that she did was just accept that these are the conditions. This is, I think sometimes it's very easy to visualise how you'd like to play in a final, or how you'd like the final to go. And it wasn't quite happening the way that she would have liked in those early stages. But rather than fighting against that, it was just accepting that this is how it's going to be, and I'm going to work with it.
Yeah, one of the players I played a bit with, Brian Little, from the Manawatu Centre, often talks about winning ugly.
Oh yes.
And sometimes as you say, you want to play perfect bowls all the time, but sometimes the conditions, the green speed, just means that it isn't the perfect game, but you can still win ugly.
Yes.
And that's just as legitimate as winning, by every bowl being exactly where you want it to go.
Yeah, that's it. And that was a big discussion in Nainai when we had the Trans-Tasman. Of course, the conditions down there were pretty horrific.
They were. I was down there commentating, as you may remember, and it was it was very tricky, and I thought it was very interesting the way the Australians approach it, which was very aggressive. They clearly decided, particularly after the first day, they were just going to, if anything got close, they were just going to attack.
Yeah, that's it. And it was the best way to go, I think. And it comes down to that winning ugly, and I guess by that, it's just being effective, isn't it? You know,
Yep.
you don't need to play perfect, pretty, neat bowls, just effective.
Leslie McClendon on the probe here, looking for the shot bowl of Joe Ching. She's just going to slip by. So, Leslie, a good attacking player. I've watched a lot of her bowls over the years. She played in the Auckland juniors when my wife Robin Walker was playing for North Harbour. So, saw them playing a number of times against each other, and yeah, she's a very effective player, and she's built up a very good record in the game in only a fairly short time. Yeah, I mean that style of play that the Australians played in the Trans-Tasman certainly wasn't for the purists, but very, very effective, and I think the more they played those shots, the more confident they got of playing those shots. And for Aaron Sheriff and Aaron Tees, and I mean, they can play pretty good runners, as can Kelsey Cottrell and Natasha in the women's team. But yeah, it was pretty dynamic. What was your tactic for playing in those conditions? Well, we'll just watch this close from Aggie.
Oh, so
great
clean.
bowl.
She got
Great
it
bowl.
square as you like, sits for shot, touches the jack even, which is always a bonus.
And so important that she got the bowl, because it was Carlton Cornwall with the two back bowls, the bowls of Joe Cheng and Lisa Appleyard. So really a perfect result for Aggie.
If Linda can do the same or even grab the jack, they'll be sitting really good here. Of course, Joe's bowl stays alive as it was a toucher.
Yeah, and she's close.
Oh, what a game we've got on our hands.
Wow. This is high quality stuff. So 1 to Linda Ralph.
And Aggie will have to be a little bit careful here, just given the sense that Carlton have all the position at the back.
Her bowl has gone back and is still on, but any jack movement sideways, and yeah, it could be tricky. But Aggie's, no, she's playing with weight again, just going to get caught on the front stuff. So it's 1 to Carlton Cornwall. And Judy saying, come on, Linda, you can draw up there. And knowing Linda, she can.
Yeah, there's definitely still a path in there. She will finish narrow of the jack, but she'll be able to hang around.
Yep, didn't seem happy with it when she let it go.
But we have seen that earlier in the game, and it was spot on.
Obviously, just went a little bit too narrow. But anyway, great result for Carlton Cornwall. I mean, Linda would have been 2 or 3 shots down there when she played her first bowl, and that, in the context of this game, could have been almost a match-winning margin for Bridge Park. Instead, it's 1 to Carlton Cornwall, and after 5 of the 15 ends, it's Bridge Park, the Aggie Motu skip team, leading Carlton Cornwall, the Linda Ralph skip team, in this Bowls Auckland Women's Champion of Champion Fours final.
Yeah, so we're a third of the way through the game now. I know some players like to break up the games by sets of ends. Usually it's in thirds. I think that's quite common.
Yeah, it's a good way of keeping yourself focused, isn't it? And just resetting as you go. And Lisa Appleyard, that's her best bowl of this final, as she draws a good toucher.
She played a couple early on in the game, and I wonder if when she has the jack, those are her best bowls, and that's not an uncommon thing for players.
That's right. I mean, we often talk about the jack being a third bowl because it does give you that opportunity to get a feel for the speed, and obviously to put the jack where you want to, at a length that you want to play. And Philly's followed this up with a pretty good bowl too. Well done.
Yeah, she's been really steady, hasn't she? Always putting bowls in and around the head. Does set up the Bridge Park Bowling Club really well.
And that's an important point. You don't have to get the shot. For the front players, it's about getting bowls on the head so that the back end players have bowls to play to. A lot of people, I think, in the game get a bit mesmerised by wanting to get the shot, particularly off the front. And having played a little bit there over my career and played with people like Phil Scogland, played two for Phil for a long time, and he said to me, Brett, just get 2 bowls a metre past the jack every end. I don't care whether we have the shot or not. You get your 2 bowls sort of a metre and a half past the jack every end, we won't lose many games. And that proved to be the case. But it was a good lesson, and it takes the pressure off because you're not worrying about getting the shot. You're just in a good rhythm of line and weight.
Yeah. Another good bowl by Lisa there, and of course Philly's following suit.
Just going to pull up short, but I think it's going to be a shot. What is it? Oh, it's a clap from Aggie Motu. Linda having a bit of a look. That's 4 pretty good leads bowls to begin this 6th end.
Yeah, all 4 of those bowls can be used.
Joe Cheng now. Yes, as I say, she's very meticulous. Just obviously takes her line, I think, off the bank. So she's just making sure she can see her the point that she's where her bowl will turn from. Generally, when she leans like that, she's gone a little bit wide. But no, she's close. Just going to slide through and just a little heavy. But again, stays up on the back. And, that she's consistently put back bowls in for her skip. Andrea Wilson, she's played some really good bowls in this final already. Tends to play with good weight, reaching up into the head. Have I put the commentator's curse on her? That's adjacent, a little wide, but again, good weight. Another bowl on the head. Joe Cheng, you can't miss those bowls, can you?
No, they definitely stand out in this final. They're the only multicoloured bowls, aren't they?
Yes, unusually actually these days. I mean, I should be unhappy with that. That's not obviously looked to correct her weight, but again was on the narrower side. So her 2 least effective bowls of the final to date, and Andrew Wilson now with her 2nd bowl. Again, just gone a little bit too wide and gets onto Joe Cheng's bowl. I don't think that will have altered anything. And Judy Wong now on the forehand side. Can she get down there? There's a Lisa Appleyard bowl to turn up, or a path either inside or around it to the jack. Just pulling up short. Good line, Terry.
Yeah, it was a good line. Probably needed 2 to 3 more mats of weight to be effective. Interesting to see what the call is for Leslie. It does seem to be a little bit clogged up on the backhand, doesn't it?
It does.
They'll be conscious of Lisa's bowl on the forehand, but like you say, there's room in and under and around it.
Leslie studying concentration. Yeah, she'll be disappointed with that. The line actually wasn't bad, but yeah, a good couple of metres short. So we think it's Bridge Park holding shots as Judy Wong plays her 2nd bowl. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yes, definitely not happy with that. Couple of short bowls from her. perhaps a slightly longer end with the mat back, and I know the jack got trail, but I think it's probably slightly longer than the Bridge Park team have been playing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, what's Leslie can do? Is she around that bowl? She is around it, but she's quick. And just going to finish in the ditch. So made the correction to put more weight on, but in this case too much. So
yeah, not a lot has changed from those first 4 bowls from the leads.
Aggie just taking some time to talk to her team and just be reassuring them. She's a pretty cool customer. Motu's, of course, a big name in New Zealand sport these days.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Aggie is the aunt of Davey Motu, who is, of course, one of the young rising stars of New Zealand bowls, and was in the New Zealand under-25 team that played in the Oceania Challenge here in Tamaki Makaurau last year, and won medals in that. And his mother, of course, Mia Motu, one of the world's leading women boxers. So pretty amazing family story. Aggie just slipping through with her first, but that's a pretty good home there. Just giving them a little bit of cover with those 2 Carlton Cornwall bowls behind the jack. Oh, sorry, that was Lisa. That was Linda. My apologies. So it'll be Aggie looking to try and, I would say, try to reach those bowls at the back, just as a bit of cover, or see if she can drop in and draw a shot.
It's on a good path.
Yeah, how's her
Needs
weight?
to dive now and run.
Just outside of the count. Possibly a good home there. Might force Linda to... I'm not sure the bowl's going to turn around there, Judy.
Yeah, I'd probably be more inclined to look for Lisa Appleyard's bowl. That's on a good line into the jack. Only needs a few rolls.
Indeed. Let's see what Linda does. Yeah, I think Linda's playing with weight. That looks to me much more like she's looking to reach up to that bowl. She has, but she's just pulled a bit narrow. Does she
get
a
some
slide?
outside edges.
She does, but on to Filiakaruru's bowl. So this stage it looks like Bridge Park holding a couple. The 2 bowls of Filiakaruru. Now Leslie would just trying to make sure that they don't, given there's a couple of, or there's that Lisa Appleyard bowl, Aggie will want to be around that, but she's got her own bowl to turn up, and if she can slip past, she might just add another shot. Let's see. Stays down. Yeah, she's on the right line. Just going to be a shade quick and turns the bowl back. That might have reduced it just down to 1. Let's have a look. Out comes 1. Yeah, just the 1. So a little unlucky there. Aggie turning their second shot back. Out marches Filiakaruru in military fashion.
Yeah, she seems pretty clear about where she likes that mat to be.
I think that not many smiles from Philly today, which is unusual. So she's a picture of concentration. She's obviously pretty determined. And 6-2 after 6 ends. That's a handy lead.
Yeah, it's a nice little buffer to work from. Of course, there's plenty of time left in the game, and we all know how momentum can change.
Sure can.
But yes, a great start for the Bridge Park Bowling Club. They'll be looking to just keep doing what they're doing.
From memory, I think Linda, Ralph, and Judy Wong were part of a Carlton Cornwall team that I think might have won the New Zealand Champion of Champion Fours in the last few years. I seem to remember watching them play in the final. So they'll be very accustomed to performing well at this level, but they've come up against a Bridge Park 4 that are going very well, and again, we see Philly just around the head, not right on the jack, but just setting that good foundation that's allowing Leslie and Aggie to play pretty freely.
Yeah, I think we've only seen one or two short bowls from Philly, and that makes a difference.
Here's a good start from Lisa Appleyard. That's 2 ends in a row. She's been close.
Yeah, she's found her groove, I think.
Nicely done. Yep, smiles from the Carlton Cornwall team. Philly just asking, do you want me to change? No real need to. I mean, she's really just needs to get a close bowl. Doesn't need to get the shot, and she could actually draw around that bowl for shot, though it would be pretty precise. Let's see. Yeah, she's in the area. Yeah, gets a clap from Aggie, but it's not the shot, but it's again around the head. A reasonable second shot.
Yeah, I think the speed was exactly what she needed it to be. Like you say, just needed that wider line. Lisa looking to replicate her first bowl.
Yeah, good line again, just a little bit quick this time. Right idea. You don't want to be short when you've drawn a good shot, and it looks like it stayed up. Judging by the reaction from Joe Ching there, gave her a little clap. So we'll get a wide shot in a minute, but I think that's probably finished at the end. So Andrea Wilson swaps over onto the forehand to see if she can get one close, and she's on a good line here. Yeah, thank you. So you can see Lisa's second bowl there, and Andrea just putting a catcher in there. So Joe Ching with her first bowl, and she'll be conscious of the need to get another bowl on the head.
Yeah, I think if she can beat Andrea's last bowl, even if with a little bit of help.
Yeah, well played.
Yeah, that's a really good spot for the Carlton Cornwall team.
2 to Carlton Cornwall.
And it breaks up that scoring area of the Bridge Park Bowling Club. They sort of were building a little pocket over there.
So Andrea Wilson with her second bowl. Again, good line, but just a little quick. In fact, a lot quick. Into the ditch. So 2 to Carlton Cornwall. And Joe Ching with her second bowl. And this would be one of the better starts they've had from the front players in this final, which is good to see. Going to make it a good game. Yeah, again on a good line.
Yeah, she's actually played this really well to perfection.
Oh, great bowl. That really is a great bowl.
Yeah, obviously her first bowl came into a good spot, but she would have been conscious that she did have help from another bowl. So while it landed in a good spot, there were still adjustments to be made, and she did that really well.
Leslie McClendon, that little unique, foot on the foot up on the toe as she lets her ball go on the forehand. Not bad speed, but narrow, and that's 3 to Carlton Cornwall, and this head's building quite nicely for them. Judy just getting her bowl prepared.
Beautiful bowling arm action.
Yeah, she's got a good line here. She got the speed. Yeah, I think she's going to be close.
Yeah, she'll hang around. Fourth shot.
Yep, that's again another good bowl. So Aggie saying to Leslie, come on, just beat that wing bowl. Again, good lesson there. You don't have to get the shot. Just get a bowl on the head and maybe try and beat the furthest away shot rather than get the shot itself. And she's close here.
Close.
She's very close here. Oh, that's a screamer. That's an
Excellent
absolute
bowl.
screamer. Wow. Yep, I'm going to call that one to Bridge Park. What do you think, Terry?
Yep. I'd agree with you. I think Carlton Cornwall could still stick to that forehand side. There's every chance that they can swing on to that bowl of Leslie's and just sit it over a couple of times, and they'll be sitting pretty again.
Yep. Yeah, so Judy, having thought she was going to play the backhand, now resets the bowl. And, yeah, I agree. I mean, there's a good shot just to sit that bowl out and hold 4 or 5 shots.
Yeah, there's a clean run to the bowl here.
Pretty
If
good
she's got
line.
the speed right, she won't be far away. Oh,
Well, that might
that'll
be
do.
one. Yeah, that'll do. Yep. Perfectly turns the Joe Cheng bowl up, and so it's 1 to Carlton Cornwall. Not as good a result if she'd set the shot bowl, but it's still a shot, and at this stage of the game, that's good fishing.
And still potentially an option for Linda,
Absolutely.
depending on what Iggy does, of course. But what a great head from these ladies.
Yes, a bit of a dilemma here because Aggie's actually got the bowls catching behind, not all of them, but she's got Andrea Wilson's bowls and Phillies too. Obviously the Lisa Appleyard bowl right at the back. So she could play up on her backhand and look to sit the shot bowl or push the shot bowl onto the jack, which would be moving in their direction. But she wouldn't want to be narrow.
No, that's the thing. And it's all about missing in the right areas if you are going to miss, and she'll be conscious of that.
I like that. I like that too. I like that term, missing in the right areas. Yeah, that's well put.
Not that you intend to miss, of course.
No, but often in bowls it's working out what happens if things go bad rather than concentrating when things go good.
Oh,
Close
look
here.
at this. And the inside edge.
Oh, wow.
Excellent.
What a bowl. Perfect weight, wasn't it?
Yeah, perfect weight. Certainly didn't overplay it, but at the same time gave it every chance to be effective. I'd say that's 2 to Bridge Park.
Yeah, no, superb bowl from Aggie Motu. That's high quality stuff. And Aggie's just very very calm, not
Pretty
getting
casual about things.
not getting too carried away.
Just
I've just played a screamer, but
So a usual Sunday for her. This is what she did last week.
Yeah, indeed. Well, Linda looking to see if she can get some contact on those front bowls, but she's just played a little wide. So what does Aggie have this time to play?
What do they have at the back? I guess that would be what they'd be looking at, just making sure they've got the right position. If they do, there's probably no harm in adding another one if she can get in there.
Getting out on that good line. It's gone a little bit wide. I think she maybe just been looking to cover there.
Yeah.
Good call, Terry. I think probably thinking just in case that shot bowl gets onto the jack, over on that side they're pretty much all Carlton Cornwall bowls. So that's a good insurance bowl by Aggie Motu. She's holding 2, so she shouldn't really need to add another shot. And Linda got it away with a bit of a bump, yeah. And
the jack was heading out that way if she was contacting
right.
the pink onto the blue.
Yeah.
Of course, she was narrow, so that's 2 to Bridge Park. They
Yeah.
extend their lead to 8-2
Yep, clap
after
from
7 ends.
yes, clap from Philly Akaruru. I thought that was good game management by Leslie McClendon there. Just making sure that they had that covered. You're holding 2 good shots, which is going to extend your lead.
Yeah.
So Philly again marches out,
And of course, going back to Leslie, before she played the screamer that she did to get that shot bowl in the first place, Carlton had a really good head building up there. So it all started with Leslie.
Yeah, sure did. Yeah, great work at the back end, and probably the best front end bowls that we've seen Carlton Cornwall play in a single end here.
Yeah.
And some high quality bowls required from Bridge Park to get the shots there. Philly, picture of concentration.
The front end certainly does make a lot of difference in the game, but of course it has to be consistent for it to make a real difference. I know last week, though, I keep talking about last week, but Yana Savov.
Yes.
Yeah, she was leading brilliantly for the majority of that final, but Aggie was just on point. You know, we often talked about it almost being a game between Jana and Aggie, but of course Aggie had the final say, being the skip, and of course that's the way the result went.
And Jana's building up a really great record, isn't she, in a very short time in the game?
Yeah, so from memory, she's a third-year bowler.
I think so.
Yeah, of course, in her first year, she won the Champ of Champ singles title here in Auckland. So, yeah, and of course featuring down the business end again of Champ events. So,
yeah, it's great technique and clearly, you know, very good temperament for this game. So. So that was a good bowl from Lisa Appleyard with the first, just sitting off that bowl of Philly Akaru's for the shot. Philly just puts one round behind, good position bowl, and Lisa now with her second bowl. And it's good to see such a good final. You know, sometimes we get to this stage of the tournament and, you know, and you see one team clearly dominant, but even though Bridge Park have got the lead at 8-2, you know, the shots have been turning over a lot during the ends.
Yeah, we have seen the shots changing a fair bit. So that 8-2 lead for Bridge Park has been fought for. Certainly hasn't been gifted to them.
Andrea Wilson here. One of her few short bowls in the game. She's tended to be right up to it as good number 2 should be. So it's Carlton Cornwall holding one as Jo Cheng lines up for her first bowl on this 8th end.
Yeah, Jo can play with confidence here. You know, Lisa's holding the shot and has a really good back bowl. So there's no real pressure on Jo. She can just send one up there, and she has. She hangs around. She'll be handy.
We'll get you some scores from the men's semi-finals in a minute. They're just going on in the same on the same green, but a little bit further along. So we'll get you those scores in a little while. Give you a sense of who we might be watching this afternoon in the men's final. And there's Andrew Wilson just slipping past, but that's a good home there. Just covers those 2 bowls of Carlton Cornwall and gives Leslie McClendon and Aggie Motu plenty to play to.
Yeah, at this stage of the end, that's where the jack will be going. Jo's speed was pretty good that first time round, so a slightly wider line, she'll be right on it.
Yeah, she'll be disappointed with that. A nice line, but Leslie on her backhand.
Of course, she played an absolute bomb last end when they were in trouble.
Just gone a little wide here, but just reaching to the back, so it's another catcher.
Yeah, certainly a bowl to work from. Don't think that came out particularly well.
Nope, they got a very early back turn. We often say you shouldn't turn your back on a bowl, but sometimes there are bowls that you play that you definitely don't want to see where they end up.
Yeah, sometimes you just know you're not going to learn much from watching those ones.
No, that's for real. So Leslie with her second bowl and close here, getting a clap from Aggie Motu.
Oh, she's got it.
She's played another. Oh, slides through the hole. Wow.
Oh, she was so close. The speed was really good for the shot.
It sure was. So Carlton Cornwall clinging on to one here as Judy plays her second bowl. Looked a little tight to me out of the hand.
I think you're right, Brett.
Yeah, she'll be disappointed with that. She's played some very good bowls in this final, but in this case, it's the Lisa Appleyard's first bowl, still with the shot. Philly Akaruru's first bowl is the second shot, and a chance now for Aggie Motu to look to play up on her backhand, looking for the shot bowl, looking for Jack.
Yeah, and She now has 2 bowls waiting for her if the jack does move. Andrea's bowl and, of course, Leslie's now. Aggie's been playing these shots really well.
She sure has.
It wouldn't surprise me if she's in the area again.
And stays down as she lets the bowl go, so gives it every chance to get on the right line. Just a little wide here. Yeah, plenty of noise in the men's semi-finals. We've got Adam Wisnowski from Newland playing Adam Blucher, and we've got Danny Delaney, former New Zealand player, playing another current New Zealand player, Tony Grantham. Danny out of this home Royal Oak club, and Tony Grantham from Mount Albert, skipping the team which I think has won this event either last year or the year before, so we'll see them later on. So back to the women's final.
Well, we just saw a bowl from Linda Ralph, quite a tight line, and ended up promoting Joe's bowl with the yellow stripe right in for shot. So that'll be, 2 now to Carlton Cornwell on the head.
And Aggie Motu on the drive. Just slipping past. So it's 2 to Carlton Cornwall here.
Yep.
At a pretty critical stage of the game, over halfway.
Yeah, Linda has every opportunity to add a third shot here. Bonus shots are so important. She's got a good line for it. I've heard before that, I think it was Alex Reid that was the messenger, but apparently Joe Edwards has a bit of an unwritten rule that if you're holding a shot, don't be narrow.
Yes.
And, you might have some exceptions to the rule, but certainly in this case, getting her line was so important.
When I was playing competitively, John Murtagh was the New Zealand coach back in the early 1990s, and he used to say, if you're down, faulty narrow. If you're holding, faulty wide.
Yep,
and
that makes sense.
I've remembered that. So in other words, if you're down, doesn't hurt to just be a little bit tight, looking to particularly if you can get a result off some bowls or turn a bowl up. But if you're holding faulty wide, just make sure you're a little you keep your line away from typically the jack. Yeah,
that way you've got a little bit more room for error with your speed. If your line's good.
Completely.
I like that.
All right, so I'll give you one of the men's scores for those people who are interested. In the one of the semi-finals, we've got Tony Grantham playing Danny Delaney, and after 9 of their 15 ends, it's Tony Grantham, current New Zealand team player, playing with Zoran Bartulovic, Nevin Gregicevic, and Randall Watkins. And they are 11-4 up over Danny Delaney. I think that's Steve Fisher, Gavin Brown, Marty Dixon, and their team. And I'll get you the score from the other semi-final in a minute.
Great lead bowls in our women's final yet again.
Yeah, these two leads are having a great tussle, aren't they? Lisa Appleyard again very close here with her second bowl. Oh no, just pulling up short. Nice line.
Yeah, still room for Philly to draw around that bowl, although it looks like she might be changing hand.
Yeah, maybe just not wanting to risk turning them up.
Yeah, and if you feel confident to change your hand, then there's absolutely no harm in doing that.
Linda just indicating where jack level is and how far short that bowl is. So there's plenty of room around there for Judy. For Joe, should I say. And in the other men's semi-final, it's Adam Wisnowski, who is leading Adam Blucher, Battle of the Adams, 12-6 after 9 ends. So 11-4 to Tony Grantham over Danny Delaney, and 12-6 to Adam Wisnowski over Adam Blucher. And we'll bring you further score updates as those games progress. Meanwhile, back here, it's 8-4 to Bridge Park, playing this 9th of 15 ends in the women's Champion of Champion Falls final. Andrea Wilson with her first bowl, and she's going to be pretty handy.
Yeah, Bridge Park is setting up nicely here. They're holding the shot and have 2 good back bowls. Joe's job will really just be drawing in behind at this point.
And for anybody who's interested in bowls elsewhere, I can tell you in the finals of the North Harbour Champion of Champion Falls today, Takapuna are playing Mairangi in the women's final, Mairangi Bay, and Riverhead are playing Mahurangi in the men's final. So a bit of Champion of Champion bowls going on around the Auckland region this weekend.
Are they playing undercover as well?
They were due to be playing outdoors, I think, at Mairangi today, but I'm not sure whether they've made the decision to play indoors. If they are, they'll be playing at Riverhead. I might contact the Bowls North Harbour chairman, Robin Walker, and find out what's going on there. Who just sent me that message.
What a shot from Andrea that we just saw. Drew perfectly between Lisa's bowls. Earned herself some chalk on her bowl as well.
And the skip of the Takapuna women's team, you may know, Terry, is Keiko Kurihara, who plays for Japan and was at the World Bowls playing in the Japanese team last year. Anyway, back here to Bowls Auckland, and it is the Bridge Park team in a pretty good position at the moment on this head. And Aggies...
Yeah, here comes another one.
Is it going to beat the front? Just not quite going to see. The players will show it, let us in a minute. No, just pulled up short, but probably in a reasonably good spot there.
I think... Was Linda calling for some aggression there?
Oh, yeah, I think I could lip read that one, and I'm guessing it wasn't that good. Oh, no. Well, there you are. She didn't seem very happy, but I think she played a screamer here. Wow, well...
Absolutely. That never looked like missing, but...
No, I don't know whether perhaps she didn't think she had enough weight to hold it up, but played a very good bowl, and it's still Bridge Park holding, but obviously not with the bowls right on the jack, which gives Linda Ralph a bit of room to draw.
Yeah, they're in a far better position. I was actually going to say before, we saw... was it an end or two ago, Carlton Cornwall building a really good head before, Leslie put paid to that, and of course Aggie. And I was going to say, can Carlton Cornwall make those same changes? And of course they have.
So I'm going to call, I think Bridge Park are holding 4 here, but there's plenty of room. And you'd definitely expect a high quality player like Linda, no pressure, to get one of her 2 bowls within a metre of the jack, which would be either the shot or definitely second shot on this end. So let's see what Linda can do here.
And while that jack is obviously quite off centre, you don't want to fall into that trap of pushing your line out too wide and not coming back into the rink.
That's right.
It's really important that, while you're looking to draw the shot, it doesn't need to be on the jack at this point. It just needs to be beating your opposition bowls. So certainly erring on the wider side, but you actually don't need to adjust your line too much.
No. So Linda will be a bit disappointed with that. She had good speed, but just got caught wide. Now Aggie will be trying to draw a close shot here to really put the pressure on. Holding, and she's close. She's close here.
It's down to her speed now. I think she'll stop though.
Yeah, well, falls in, so Judy just having a bit of a survey of the rink, so just giving some instructions. So big bowl in the context of this game, Terry.
It absolutely is. Aggie still looking casual as ever in the
Yeah.
background there.
Yep. Just watching the
Yeah.
men's semi-final. Players cross over in the Blucher-Wisnowski game. Oh, now that Linda didn't look very happy with that. Oh, she's on a good line.
Too bad. Down to her speed, maybe. Oh, she's a hard one to read.
She
Brett.
sure is. Well, it fell out. So Leslie having a look now.
Yeah, down to that.
That's a shot. Great bowl.
Yep, that's a good call from Leslie. If Aggie can find a way to that bowl, it's certainly worth a few.
So Leslie said to her, look, you can run that bowl out, or you've got about half a metre to draw a shot. So let's see what Aggie will do. She's not afraid to be aggressive, and that bowl's probably worth at least 2 or 3.
I think it comes down to how confident you feel for the shot. Sometimes, with that much room, you'd back yourself to draw that.
Absolutely.
And so, a bird in the hand beats 2 in the bush sort of thing. But it certainly is tempting.
And definitely taking a bit of time over this. It's an important bowl in the context of the game. Just thinking about which hand they might play. Leslie having a good, just coming to the front of the head so she can see the angles a bit for Aggie.
Yeah, I wonder if Aggie's struggling to find a path to that bowl. So Leslie's going to find that path for her if there is one.
And because indoor the bowls tend to stay a bit tighter with weight, she'll just be I guess assessing, she'll know the line that Aggie's bowls take. So is it under the bowls, is it round the bowls? And if it's round the bowls, Mike Bradshaw in the background, Aggie's partner and a prominent Auckland player. So it's going to be the backhand and it's going to be with weight.
I'm excited for this.
Here we go. Nope. Not happy. Oh,
Might
look
get
out.
some luck.
Oh. Wasn't that far away, really. So 1 to Carlton Cornwall, and a very critical one. Makes us 8-5. And we've now played 9 of the 15 ends. And it's Lisa Appleyard with the mat. And I'm just going to go for a wander outside and just have a look at these men's games and be back in a second. So I'll leave you with Terry.
Must admit, I was expecting a fuller length jack from the Carlton Cornwall side, but I think it's just pulled up a bit shorter than maybe what they were intending. Lisa has been bowling really well these last few ends. This one might just pull up short, but she certainly found her line, not too far away. Philly, of course, has been very consistent, not necessarily always on the jack, but as we've referenced, certainly in the playing area, in and around the head. This is a better one from Lisa. Just needs to finish off now. Yeah, right on the money. Carlton Cornwall have done really well to close that gap. They were 8-2 down only a couple of ends ago. Now they've closed the gap to be within 3. Philly's not far away either. Might run out of puff.
Quick update on the men's semi-finals. It's Adam Wisnowski from New Lynn leading Adam Blucher's Te Aratu team with 12-7 after 11 ends. And it's Tony Grantham and his Mount Albert team leading Danny Delaney from the host Royal Oak Club 11-4 after 9 ends. As Jo Cheng plays her first bowl on this 10th end. It's a very early clap from Linda Ralph, so obviously very happy with the line. Weight just comes off and she just gets caught up on a Filiakaruru bowl, and Aggie Motu won't be unhappy with that. Gives her a couple of seconds, and Andrew Wilson will be probing up on that backhand side. And close. Getting a good look from Aggie now.
Yeah, good chances from Andrea here.
Oh, well played.
Oh.
Very, very well played. Yep, big smile from Aggie, and just played. That's a classic number 2's bowl. Just reaching with a metre or so of weight. Turn the bowls, sit the shot bowl. And Carlton Cornwall, having looked pretty good, suddenly find themselves in a little bit of a precarious position with just that one bowl on the head. No, nothing to panic about, but it's not a bad bowl from Jo, and just getting a position bowl around the back there, giving them something to play to.
It is always helpful to get in a position bowl early on in the end. You don't want to find yourself needing to do all of the shots later on in the end, finding position as well as moving the Jack 2 position.
Absolutely right. And Andrew Wilson's on another good line here. Just going to be a little bit lacking in weight. Perhaps a little nervous about not wanting to dislodge the Jack, but actually really she had everything to play to there.
Yeah, and I mean, she could have done a similar bowl to Jo, really, on the backhand, of course, but coming right around the back would have been a good bowl for her.
That's right. And, a good point there. You really just building on the head, improving the position. Close here from Judy. That's a good bowl. She turns up Lisa's bowl, but at this stage it's Bridge Park holding one, and Aggie just under Leslie McClendon. Just come down there. You've got our bowls to turn over, or just come past. Yep, and Leslie's close.
Might need to run on a bit further.
Yeah, she's around. Wow.
Oh, pretty good effort there. Looks like it could be a second shot.
It could be. So Linda, saying to Judy, come on, down there with a bit of weight. Let's break this up. Give me a chance.
That's
like the last end, give me some space. And
it's going to cut away from the head there.
Yep.
I do wonder if it's worth them playing on the backhand. I know that they'll be running into opposition bowls, but I think they'll be quite effective with moving things around there.
I agree. And
even just clearing a few of those bowls.
Absolutely. And Aggie said to Leslie McClendon, I want some cover. If that Jack springs, it's going to spring, likely to spring. You never be entirely sure, but likely to spring to the side. So Leslie's played a good bowl there to cover that. And I guess the danger for Linda here is losing Lisa's bowl, because she's I guess depending on whether she's 1 or 2 down. If she's 2 down, well, you've got to be attacking at the stage of the game. So I'm guessing that the way she had Judy Wong play that last bowl, that maybe they are 2 down, and you called it, Terry. So let's see what Linda does. But one way or another, she'll be attacking, and you can see, she's maybe thinking backhand. Yeah, I think she's going to follow your cue. I think is that backhand?
It's hard to tell.
Let's have a look.
I do think there's more of a future on the backhand, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, the bowls on the forehand are so far short. If you do make contact, you're unlikely to move the head.
And not on a particularly great angle either. I think
Oh, yeah, she did play the backhand.
she was on the backhand, but yeah.
Or she either played the backhand or she played a wrong bias. By that reaction, she's shaking her head. I think she might have played a wrong bias there.
Yeah, possibly, because otherwise that was extremely narrow.
Yeah,
I don't-
and that's unlike Linda, very unlike Linda. So yeah, so maybe she was in two minds. She got the bowl on the right bias, but the delivery on the other bias. So just having a bit of a
I suppose she, even on the forehand, she could still play that shot. You know, she'd need to be under Joe's yellow stripe bowl there. I still think crashing into those opposition bowls is useful.
yeah. There's an old saying in the game, play into danger, and sometimes yes, there's a risk of you playing the other bowls, but at that sort of weight, you're going to be dislodging them. You're not going to be turning them up for shots.
Yeah, that's it. And you got to allow for your bowl to be coming through as well, the collision bowl.
Aggie and Leslie have just had a little bit of a chat about whether she tries to turn back that bowl of Lisa Appleyard, knowing that it can make another couple of shots at least. So I expect Aggie will play what I'd call a full draw here, looking to just draw up to that bowl. And she has probably didn't have the weight for that shot. She gets a lot of turn out of her bowls, doesn't she?
Yeah, she probably still was on a wider line than what she needed to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, certainly a shot there for her to, like you say, roll through Lisa's bowl. Right. I do think we are on the forehand.
Yep, I think it's a forehand as well. Yes, well called. Right, here we go.
Needs to be on the outside of that one and wriggling backwards.
Oh, she did get the Lisa Appleyard bowl. Slightly unlucky result, but that's 3 at the moment to Bridge Park. And every opportunity for Egi Motu to draw another shot here. Yes, unlucky, but that was the risk.
Yeah, and I do wonder if, if she'd had played that on the backhand, there would have been more chance of her bowl running into the head rather than away from the head.
I agree entirely. So Egi Motu, she really has to get around there for another shot.
And settle for
Does it
4.
stay?
Might need to sit in,
It sits
which it
down.
has.
Yeah, well, Leslie was motioning for it to sit down. So what have we got? Outcome was 1, 2. Measure will tell us the other result. Just while she's doing that, I will tell you that in the North Harbour final, for those that are interested, the women's final, Mairangi is between Takapuna, that's Jan Calcott, Lynette Calver, Adele Ineson and Keiko Kurahara, playing Mairangi Bay, Gay Horn, Rosemary Nicol, Glenda Roundtree and Judy Fakash. We'll just check that board. That was
It looked like 3.
Yep, that was 3. I'm just watching Aggie adjust the board. So that's 11-5 to Bridge Park over Carlton Cornwall after 10 of the 15 ends. And perhaps, Terry, that might be the critical end for this game. Is it too far out to call that?
No, you are right. I still think there's, mathematically it's certainly there for Carlton Cornwall to claw back. We do have 5 ends to go, don't we? So you're only looking at 1s and 2s. So certainly not out of the game by any means, but you're right, it was a critical end. They'd just got themselves back to a 3-point deficit as opposed to that 6-point deficit they had before, and now they're back there.
In the men's Champion of Champion Fours final in North Harbour, it's Mairangi Bay, Alan Langley, Peter Orgis, Kevin Robertson, skipped by Leon Wesh, and they're playing Steve Cox, who is skipping Grant Goodwin, Dwayne McDonald and Lindsay Gilmore. And I think Lindsay's also playing with an arm these days, so and they're from Riverhead. And in the men's semi-finals here at the Bowls Auckland Champion of Champion Fours, it's Mount Albert leading 11-5. That's Tony Grantham from Mount Albert. Oh, they're just updating the board for me. So it's Tony Grantham from Mount Albert playing Danny Delaney from Royal Oak, and it's now 11-7, so that game tightening up quite nicely. And Adam Wisnowski, his team from New Lynn, leading Adam Blucher from Te Atatu 13-7. 12 ends played in the Adams semi-final and 11 ends played in the game between Danny and Tony. Back here in the women's final, it's Bridge Park leading in another good start from another good opening from the leads, but in this case it's Philia Haruru holding the shot for Bridge Park.
Thank you to Robin for the North Harbour updates. Another good bowl from Lisa here. She wasn't far away with her first one.
That's it. Just out of the count, but 4 excellent opening bowls from the leads.
We've seen that quite a few times now from both leads.
Yeah, it's been a really good tussle.
Andrea probably made the difference last end, promoting Philly's bowl, I think it was, onto the jack, and the way it sat wasn't easy for Carlton Cornwall.
Absolutely. Aggie having a good look at this, just seeing if it's just going to come through.
The outside edge is
the
good.
Touch. Yeah, that's a good result for Bridge Park. Yep, faulty narrow. They were holding shot, but she got a good result and had everything to play to there.
Yeah, you could argue that there was a little element of luck there, but at the end of the day, you know, she was in the right area with both line and speed.
Absolutely.
So a good result was, always inevitable.
Joe Cheng just reaching down with weight again, just a little bit quick for that shot. Raced into the ditch.
Yeah, if she came into the head and, you know, made contact with anything, she might have got away with that speed. But of course, if you're not making contact, you're going to lose your bowl.
And Andrea Wilson doing what you suggested she do a couple of ends, or last end I think, or a couple of ends ago, and just getting around the back.
Right idea.
Yep, it's got a good cover there. They're holding 2 shots, leading 11-5, and so, you know, right now a position bowls a good spot as Joe Cheng again looks to reach down on that forehand side, and again is a little wide and again a little heavy, and you know, that's not good news for Carlton Cornwall. There's no need to panic at this stage of the game. You made the point before, Terry. 1 or 2 is good fishing, so you don't need to panic. Just get a good bowl close. Or if you are going to play with weight, play with good controlled weight, so your bowl's staying up. Lisa McClendon, everything to play for on this forehand side, holding 2. Coming on a pretty good line here. She get that narrow channel again.
Yeah, she's nailed this. Played it really well.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good bowl.
3 shots to Bridge Park as it sits. Yeah, Linda indicating that she's keen for that jack to be moved out of there. But again, with the speed, that means your bowl is in play.
And they've got no bowls past the jack. So they're really reliant on if Judy can get the jack. And she's close. She's very close here.
Needs to hold a touch.
Oh, well, she turns Lisa Appleyard's bowl up, so that reduces it to 2. But still, Carlton Cornwall don't have a bowl past the jack. They do have one almost jack level, I think, with Lisa's bowl. So it's an improved head. Wow, and we're down to the business end as Aggie calls Leslie up. Obviously just wants to make sure that she really understands how the head's sitting and she can play a precise bowl.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Yep,
we are in a final, of course, and it is important for players to be on the same page, know exactly what they're doing.
Yep. You can see what Aggie's saying there. They won't really want to leave that target open because, I mean, Linda's probably too good a player to miss twice down that channel, and Judy's still got one to play. So be looking to see if they can just try and tighten that head, and that could be drawing on the forehand to try and get in the way, or it could be playing the backhand and looking to just try and sit Lisa's bowl, or even just move the jack around the corner. So Leslie, she's had a good chance to have a look at it. Yeah, she's obviously decided to put a cover bowl in. So they've decided.
Yeah.
That,
Aggie's foot's anything to go by. Leslie's in a really good home there.
Yep. So obviously decided it isn't easy. So let's not try and risk, mucking it up by turning one of those Carlton Cornwall bowls up as Judy plays her second bowl. Oh.
Maybe just a little tight again.
Yeah, right idea. And it does get a bowl past the head. It is out on the side, but it just gives Linda a little bit more confidence that she can play with weight. And Aggie will be having a look here just to say, okay, what do I do? Do I block? Try and get one in the way there.
Yeah, they'll have some comfort in knowing that they have Leslie's bowl back there now.
Yep, and they've got Andrea's right out over on the side, also at the back. So it is a little tricky because you've got the Carlton Cornwall short bowls. Alternatively, she could play the backhand and just look to sit that bowl of Lisa's through, and that would make, at least bring in another one or maybe two in. So let's see what Aggie does. No, it's a forehand. So
yeah, they do have two bowls on that side, and of course just room to draw clean.
And I guess at this stage of the game, two's good fishing if you can hold them. You're leading on the game, so you don't probably need to be chasing a shot. And so let's see where she finishes here.
Oh, even if she's in the way, they'll be happy with that. I don't think that she is.
No, I think that's maybe what she was trying to do, was just to see if she could draw in there. Let's see. Sometimes those attempted blocks can, when you're a little wide, can be a bowl to come off. Let's see what I think Linda's on the forehand again, same as Judy.
Yeah, I think they're committed now to that shot, aren't they?
I think so.
And the target is there. Still have to play it, of course.
And she has to attack now, so she's got the option to draw with her last. So
she's close.
She's close. What does she
yep,
do off
that one will do.
Oh, wow. Well, that was a surprise because you would have thought one of those bowls would have moved, but actually she's turned another bowl of Leslie McClinton's back. So it's Bridge Park still holding two, now with even another back bowl. So Leslie saying to Aggie, look, draw another shot. Just try and, just get him behind here. So
yeah, it has changed the head enough where it's still a very similar shot for Linda, I think. She's got two bowls there to work with on that forehand side.
I agree entirely. So Aggie looking to cover. So this is one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't ends, isn't it? You're two down and you don't want to drop two. But if she would get the jack, it could get very ugly at the back unless her bowl goes with it.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what weight she plays with here. Potentially before it didn't really matter what weight you played with. If you're getting the jack clean, that was good. Now it might be that you're just really looking to promote bowls or wriggle in.
Well, she's going to get off Aggie's bowl.
Wriggle onto the jack. One shot to Carlton Cornwall.
Wow. Well, I did make the point about those attempted blocks out wide. She would have missed the head completely if she hadn't have made touch base with that. You can see the frustration on Leslie McClinton's face because, Bridge Park couldn't have played that in much better, really. But anyway, that's the way bowls goes. So Linda's saying, no, don't bring the mat up. Let's just go a little bit longer. So 11-6, playing this 12-15 ends. Momentum definitely with Bridge Park, but that was a pretty critical bowl again from Linda Ralph and keeping her team in it.
And sometimes a bowl like that is the catalyst for momentum change. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. It'll start with the leads. I did make a point, was it maybe a couple of ends ago, I felt as though the Carlton Cornwall team were looking for a full length and didn't execute that, and potentially that's what's happened here again.
Just reminding viewers, I've got the expert comments of world champion Terry Blackburn in the studio with me today, and for I think all bowlers in New Zealand, Terry, we're just delighted that you've decided to focus on outdoor bowls over the next couple of seasons. Having had such a stellar career in indoor bowls, playing for New Zealand for the Matt Blacks. Matt Blacks. I'll get it right eventually. And but great to have you now playing outdoor and playing with so much success. And really appreciate you giving your time today to help us out with this these Bowls Auckland Champion of Champion Fours finals.
Oh, it's great to be a part of it. It's I've really enjoyed coming up here the last few weeks and talking bowls with a few different people now.
Very good. Right, well, it's one to Whiliakaruru on this 12th end as Lisa Appleyard plays her second bowl for the Linda Ralph Carlton Cornwall 4. And watching this pretty closely, it's just slipping past. That's a good bowl for Carlton Cornwall. Gives them that cover. Whiliakaruru with her second bowl. Just in the men's semi-finals, just watched Tony Grantham play an absolute screamer for the Mount Albert team, and so they now lead Danny Delaney Royal Oak team 13-7 after 12 ends. And in the other game, it's Adam Wisnowski from Newland leading Adam Blucher from Te Aratū 13-8 after 13 ends. So getting down to the business end in both of those games.
Absolutely. Another good bowl from Whiliakaruru. 2 good bowls on the head now.
Joe Cheng.
Not too far away.
Hand side. Did she get a little touch off that bowl? It would have been nice, but still finishes in a good home. Better weight from Joe.
Yeah, she has played a few shots like that, possibly overplayed them and ended up out of play. But this time she's got a catcher there for her second one. Andrea
Wilson really played really steady in this game. I've been really impressed with her play. I haven't seen her play before.
Yeah, I've played against her once, I think last season in the Auckland triples.
Mm-hmm.
And I could be way off the mark here, but from memory she was in her junior years.
Okay.
So yeah, no, playing really well, really steady, no matter how many years she's been playing.
Yeah, that's a good first bowl from her, just getting around exactly where Aggie Motu asked to, try and cover those bowls of Carlton Cornwall. And just as well, because it's Joe Cheng just probing again, slightly better weight this time and a little wider, but it's still Bridge Park holding 2 shots, those 2 bowls from Whiliakaruru.
Andrea won't need to change too much. I think the same again, or just beating her last bowl is all that she needs to do here.
Yep, for Bridge Park it's really just about continuing to score. And she's played a good bowl here. Just going to slip underneath it for another shot. That's a good bowl. Gets them a shot on that side of the head. So 3 to Bridge Park now as Judy Wong lines up to play her first bowl. Yeah, she's played some good bowls coming in this direction down the side, and she's close again here.
Wouldn't want the gap though.
Oh, she gets the wick.
Nah, perfect. That's that's a good result.
Nice weight, good line. Gave herself every chance.
Absolutely. I think if she did find the gap, that would have been unlucky. Obviously, she got the little edge, but I think that was, a fair result for her bowl.
It's that faulty narrow again. Just making sure that you're just not sliding by wide. You're just giving yourself the chance to play off bowls. And so Carlton Cornwall holding one. Leslie McClendon with her first bowl. And I imagine she'll be looking to draw up to that bowl, turn it back. Yep, she's on a good line too.
She's been really effective with this sort of shot throughout the game, and here she goes again.
Well, she gets a slice.
I think
Now,
that'll be 2 to Carlton Cornwall. They've got those two back bowls there.
could be Leslie. A mystified look on her face, and we'll have a give you a wide shot in a second just to see where it's at as Judy Wong plays her second bowl on this 12th of 15 ends. Note, she's decided I'm going to play the backhand.
Yeah, I did think she was a little bit quick to get on the mat with Linda still looking at the head there and deciding what the best
Yeah, I think
course
you're
of
right.
action.
I think it's 2 to Carlton Cornwall, and this is coming pretty well from Judy here. Yep, this is going to be the shot itself, I think. Yeah, well played. Yep.
Oh, really good bowls.
So it's tricky to get in there. I mean, Leslie might play that forehand again and just look to see, if she can sit something underneath.
Yeah, she's got things to land on that forehand side.
Yes, she got Andrea Wilson's bowl to turn up.
Yeah, I'd probably need to have another look, but
Yeah, Leslie just saying, do you want me around the front bowls or do you want me underneath? So let's see what... I didn't quite catch Aggie's call, so let's see
Yeah.
what she's asked for.
without looking at it again, my instinct would be to go under, but like I say, we'll see what happens.
She's
No,
coming
around is
around
good.
and she's
Yeah.
close.
Yeah, no, that's a good call. There was room there. Get another bowl on the head.
Oh, just sliding past. So similar weight to her first bowl, as you can see where it ended up. So Carlton Cornwall holding 3, which at this stage would be really critical for them. And plenty of room for Linda to draw. Yeah, and yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Aggie plays here because she's got the bowls at the back if she wants to attack and a pretty wide target of the 3 shots to reduce, but also plenty of room to draw. But not the easiest way in. So Linda's, also she's going to play the forehand, and that might be as much to get in Aggie's way. Let's see. And Aggie just looking very relaxed and just having a look over at the men's semi-finals games. A lot of players don't watch the other players play. And I remember John Murder saying that was a good way of keeping your mind relaxed.
Yes, and I think it's one of those things where you can't control what the opposition's doing. So there's probably not a whole lot of point in watching them. I think you need to have that acceptance of what will be, and
Absolutely.
you can only play the bowl in front of you.
So Linda obviously thought Aggie might be attacking, so she's covered the back, but in fact Aggie's drawing. Now, weight coming off now. No, she's just going to be, I think, on the high side.
Oh,
And
great
again,
effort.
Yeah, very good effort. Just slips by. That is the danger when you're just playing with a little bit of weight to turn a bowl or sit something that you are just sliding by. So Linda now, what does she do? Does she draw up on the forehand side and just try and see if she can get one in the way? That's what I'd be playing, I think. I don't think there's much point playing the backhand and leaving that forehand side open.
Yeah, I think looking to beat Aggie to it is the way to go here.
Pretty critical end this. This could be Carlton Cornwall right back in this final. And Linda's close here. She's played this well.
She needs to go around
She
Andrea's,
ran
which she
Andrea's
has.
bowl. Just slipping out of the count. So bowl's just running on a little bit on that hand. Now Leslie's having a look. Yeah, she said we're 3 down. Right, so
The line was good from Aggie with her first bowl.
it was good. So does she make the adjustment?
Certainly capable.
Oh, she didn't like it.
She might get a result under the bowl. Depends on her weight, of course.
I don't think she's going to be here. Nope. No, she made the adjustment line-wise, but then dropped her weight. So out comes 1. Out comes 2. We're going to have a bit of a look. Looks like 3 from here, but let's see. It's obviously not clear cut, otherwise it wouldn't be measuring. Oh no, it was. 3. Yeah, look, that'd be disappointing. I mean, they had 4 bowls to try and remedy that. Of course, Leslie unlucky with her first to slice the jack. So Carlton Cornwall right back in this, Terry.
Yeah, well, every time Bridge Park look like they're pulling away, they get to that 6-point lead, and Carlton Cornwall close it right up. And we spoke about Carlton only needing 1s and 2s, and now they've just got a 3, so that's a big bonus for them. Of course, it follows on from Linda's bowl the previous end, where they were in a whole lot of trouble, and she managed to score the shot out of that with, probably an element of luck there.
So it's been those last bowl saves from Linda that's kept them in it, and now is this the signal that the team hit their straps and just support her on the way back? And it's a good opener from Lisa Appleyard.
Yeah, she's been doing a job, really, hasn't she, for the most part?
She has. Yeah, it's been a good tussle up front. I think Philly Ekaruru has had the slight advantage, but only slight. So the men's semi-finals, Adam Wisnowski has completed a win in their semi-final. He and his Newland team have beaten Adam Blucher and his team from Te Atatu. And in the other semi-final, it's Tony Grantham who's leading Danny Delaney. I'll get you that score in a minute when I can see when I can get some visibility on the scoreboard. But they are playing their second to last end in their game, and it's the Mount Albert team who are leading in that game. And the score, I'll give you that score update in a minute. Let's watch the women's final because we're obviously getting down to the nitty-gritty here.
Philly didn't like that one out of the hand, but it's come to a good spot.
13-7 in the Grantham game against semi-final against Danny Delaney. So looking like very much a Mount Albert Newland final for us to commentate on this later this afternoon. Meanwhile, back here in the women's final, like to acknowledge the support that Bowls Auckland received from the Blue Waters Community Trust, from Jardin, from Hunter Bowls, and from Molchek. Great to have that level of sponsorship in the game, and it helps make these tournaments even more successful.
Yes, absolutely wonderful to have them on board.
Now, Andrea Wilson. Carlton Cornwall holding 1. Lisa Appleyard's white bowl. It's on a pretty good line here, just a little tight. Does she hold for the jack? No.
Should be under, but we can see that her speed's not too bad for that draw shot. A little more of each, really.
Absolutely. Right. Joe Cheng.
She's probably struggled a little bit in recent ends.
Yep, just been a little bit wayward with her weight control. But she's on a good line here. She's played this one well.
This looks really good.
She can sit that bowl of Lisa's.
Yep.
Oh, that's a cracker. Well played. Well played. So 2 now to Carlton Cornwall. But opportunities down there for Bridge Park with sitting either of those bowls. Big smile from Lisa Appleyard in the background and good encouragement for her teammate. Andrew Wilson, study of concentration, and she's played a screamer here.
Yeah, look at this. Needs to break a touch more.
Oh,
Perfect.
yeah, great bowl. Yep, classic number 2 bowl, well weighted, nice line, and so it's definitely 1 to Bridge Park. It's going to be a good end to this game. Yeah, we've had some good ends already, and I can see that this is going to be bowl for bowl.
Yeah, the shots have been exchanging, and this end is no different.
Judy, is she going to... No, I was going to
Wow,
say
this
she's going
bowl
to... Well,
might come in and be handy. Another second.
yep, turns Joe Cheng's bowl up. So one at the moment to Bridge Park, but they'll be wanting to get another one there pretty quick.
Might even be 2 to Bridge Park. I'm just looking at that back bowl of fillies.
Yeah, could be. You're right.
Any movement from Leslie will make sure of that, though.
Yep, she's on a pretty good line here. She's going to break underneath that bowl. Starting to come now. No, she's going to pull past, and actually
Pass is fine.
Well, she turns Philly's bowl down and just gives her a catcher.
Yeah, Linda's keen for some jack movement here. They've got the back bowls of Lisa Appleyard.
They sure do. They sure do.
Judy's been pretty effective with this sort of shot.
She didn't seem happy with that, but every time she hasn't seemed happy, she's generally played a pretty effective bowl.
Oh, use Joe's bowl.
Here we go again. Yep. Yep. Clap from Linda Ralph, and it's 1-2 Carlton Cornwall, I think, here.
Oh.
Aggie just smiles. I mean, it's about all you can do in those situations.
Yeah, I guess, comes back to missing in the right areas. There was no future being narrow. She had options wide.
Yep, Aggie's saying to Leslie, look, you can play down there, sit the bowl through, and Leslie's not normally shy about being attacking. She's gone wide. So
I guess now Aggie will just be hoping she can stay up on the paddock, as you say.
Yep, and really that was a lot quicker than was needed. Aggie was just looking for, more of a controlled weight shot, because jack movement back is not good news unless your bowl goes with it. They're still leading 11-9. Of course, they don't want Carlton Cornwall to score, but equally, you want them, if you're going to go down, you want to, one is a lot better than 2 or 3. So let's see what Linda does here. I imagine she'll be trying to draw another shot, and absolutely capable of as well. I can confirm in the other men's semi-final, Tony Grantham has prevailed, so it'll be Mount Albert against Newland in the final today, and
make sure you guys tune in at 3 o'clock. That's when the men will be kicking off.
Absolutely, and I think it's Mount Albert defending their title, if I remember rightly, from last year. But it'll be a tough battle against Newland for sure. So Linda just slipping underneath. Good, she had good speed, but just missed her line there unusually. So
I think it's one of those. I think Aggie will just be looking to draw the shot here. She can't be everywhere at once. Of course, it would be nice to get a back bowl as well, and if she plays it to perfection, she'll be able to get shot and be in behind the jack. But I think you just focus on the basics at this point.
Right, here we go. Yep, looks like she's just drawing up a little bit of weight. Oh no,
she's looking for the pink bowl, is she?
She's close. She's close. Oh, she just slips by. But it's really good weight.
Very really proactive shot, wasn't it?
Yeah. And she's given herself a back bowl now, so she can again play with confidence. Right, Linda, your job is to draw a second shot here, because it's a pretty precarious position that we're in. What can you do? Yeah, we're definitely out on a better line, I think. Out of the hand. And pretty good. Yeah, pretty close here.
Needs to hold a touch. She could rest on that bowl there of Andrea's.
Yeah, great bowl.
Beautiful.
So, 2 now to Carlton Cornwall. I think Iggy Modu is really playing the same sort of bowl as she played last time. Sit one of those bowls. Trail of the jack is pretty good. She's 2 down already. She can't be any more than 2 down at the back. I think that's what Leslie McClendon's saying. You can play up there. Now, is it a draw or is it with weight? Let's see.
All of a sudden, Carlton Cornwall feel like they've got the
momentum, don't they? And Aggie's gone a little wider here. Her
She's
bowls do
draw.
turn. Here it comes.
Oh, not a bad effort, but it will be 2 to Carlton Cornwall.
Does surprise me a little bit there. I thought she might have played with the same sort of weight she played before. Of course, she's a very, very good draw player, and there was room to draw. But anyway, the net result of all of that is 2 to Carlton Cornwall, and we're all locked up here at 11 all, with 2 ends to play in the final of the Bowls Auckland Women's Champion of Champion Fours.
Yeah, and it's been quite some time since the score has, I guess, been this close, right?
That's
right. Carlton Cornwall were in front on the first end, but, Bridge Park had the momentum after that, and really they've been sort of that 4 to 6 points in front.
And just over the last few ends, it's just been, Judy Wong's got some really good results. When Bridge Park have been holding, and it's been Linda Ralph adding the extras, and Bridge Park just getting the half edge of bowls and not quite getting the result that they needed.
Yeah, it does feel a little like maybe the rub of the green is in Carlton's favour. Both teams are playing well though.
So, Philly Ekaruru with her first bowl. Cook Islands international player. Again, study of concentration.
Yep, they will want to dig deep here, Bridge Park. They've dropped the last 3 ends in a row.
Handy opener from Philly. Not as close as she'd like to be. And so, room for Lisa Appleyard. What can she do with her second bowl on the second to last end? Well, that looked narrow out of the hand to me.
Little shake of the head.
Yep. Yeah, that just didn't quite follow through. So, a little exasperating wave of the hand from Lisa. Don't be too hard on yourself. She's played very well through this final, but big opportunity for Philly Ekaruru here to really nail this and put Bridge Park back into the driving seat.
Absolutely.
She's watching this very closely, and for good reason. This is going to be very close.
Yeah, that's good stuff from Philly up front.
Yep, early advantage on the second last end is to Bridge Park. Game all tied up, but Joe Cheng will have other ideas.
Yeah, I think if you're Carlton Cornwall, you've got the momentum and you really want to capitalise on that. They haven't so far this end.
It's funny, isn't it, sometimes where you trail a lot on the game and you suddenly get to even, and then I wonder whether you just mentally just relax a little bit. You've been working hard to catch up, and then you just, I've seen it a number of times in games. I just wonder whether psychologically you kind of feel like you've got there.
Yeah, you maybe lose a touch of that mongrel fight, the desperation isn't there so much. So yeah, possibly. I guess on the other hand, you do see teams that, feel that momentum and that really drives them, and they do capitalise. You do see that as well.
So Andrea Wilson just heavy with her first bowl. So it's Bridge Park still holding at least one.
Talk about the psychology of it, and of course, Bridge Park will be feeling it as well. They've sort of had this buffer, and all of a sudden they're all square 2 to go. So it'll be a matter of how they approach these last 2 ends as well.
That's right. 8-2 and then 11-5. They probably felt that that was pretty good momentum. But you made the point, Terry, that you only got to get 1 or 2 shots an end, and suddenly you can be back in it. And they didn't panic, and for good, and as a result, they're right in this final at 11 all. Yeah, Joe Cheng just staying down this time a little bit on her bowl.
Yeah, looks
she
interested.
Likes it. Just a little wide.
Using that one into a good spot now.
Yep.
They'll take it.
They absolutely will. And they have had a few little wiki wackies in this game, but if you play with the right weight, you give yourself a chance.
Got to be up to enjoy it.
Absolutely. So
Andrea's got a second chance now.
Yep, closer this time.
Just
Just going to
run
slip
on.
past. Is she going to stay up? Oh no, she's in the ditch again. Well, that's disappointing. Just perhaps a little bit of inexperience. Just, you know,
She has been playing so well
absolutely.
this game.
But it's one of the longer ends we've played, and so you don't want to be short. And I'd commend her for being up there. Judy, no, that's not one of her better ones. She'll be disappointed with that beautiful line. So it's probably one of the looser ends we've had, but you sometimes see that as the pressure goes on, people just start to get a little bit tight. So it's 2 at the moment to Bridge Park.
It's probably the first time in a while that Leslie's had an open draw as a shot to play. She's sort of had to be moving things around a little bit.
Yeah, well, she won't be happy with that either. That's a long way short. So
Certainly one of the loosest heads we've seen this game.
So who gets the jack first? Better line from Judy, I think, with that bowl. She seemed to get it away a bit smoother with the bowling arm.
Yeah, she looks more interested than before, as does Linda.
Just going to pull up short.
Could be a bit of a nuisance, maybe, although there is still room around it.
Aggie says we've got 1. So signals 1. So you were right, Terry. Now, can Leslie add another one here? What are we going to see?
Still looking, though.
Yeah, obviously took a bit more green.
Might.
It's not the worst bowl there. Covers the back where Judy, Jo Cheng has her bowl.
A good crowd inside and out at
Yep.
the Royal Oak Bowling Club.
Yep, good to see so many people at the Palace, both indoor and outside, and it's been a pretty rainy day in Auckland, but the sun's definitely out at the moment, judging by the sunlight that we can see on the canvas cover of this green at Royal Oak. So Bridge Park hold 1. What can Linda Ralph do with her first bowl? She'll be drawing. She's got that bowl of Judy Wong's to turn up if she does happen to make contact with it.
Yeah, and that probably only needs a couple of rolls to come in for the shot.
She's played some great savers in this game, Linda, as we've come accustomed to. No, she didn't like that one. Mind you, we've seen a few of those in this game where they've managed to get a result, and she does again. There you go.
Oh,
Didn't like it.
I think
Got the Judy Wong bowl, and it's 1-2, and Aggie just smiling. As I said earlier, it's all you can do.
yeah,
So
little shake of the head from Leslie. Yeah, I think it's a hard watch for the Bridge Park team. There have been a couple of times where Linda hasn't liked it, and the body language shows that, and then of course the end result has gone in their favour. Oh well, opportunity for Aggie now. Still room to draw.
Yep.
She hasn't been far away with her draw shots this game.
And this is the business end, so this is where you'd expect to see Aggie do best. Looking to win back-to-back Champion of Champions 2 weekends in a row here in Auckland. She's close here.
Yeah, that's class from Aggie Motu.
Yeah, there you go.
Big cheers from Leslie too.
Yep. Yeah, no, that bowl meant a bit. That bowl meant a bit. When the momentum's going against you,
Yeah.
you're looking for that, and Leslie knows how important at this. It's only 1, but it's an important bowl. But now, Linda Ralph, what's in her bag of tricks? Yep, she's going to go and have a look.
Yeah, that's a good call. Aggie's bowl is sitting right behind the jack there. It's not an easy shot to play.
No, I think, my sense is she'll look to play with a lot of weight to that, but she'll also be mindful of just those mix of bowls at the back. You got Joe Cheng right at the back with the multicoloured bowl by the 7. And then we've got a mixture of bowls, a couple of bowls of the Bridge Park team, and then we've got the white bowls of Lisa Appleyard. So you would think that it was unlikely that Carlton Cornwall could go down more than one, but you never know.
Do you know what? I'd almost be tempted just to draw a really, really good second shot here and be okay with being one down last end with the last bowl on the final end.
No, I think it makes perfect sense because you got to stay in the overall moment of where you're at in the game.
Yeah, if they have a really good shot lined up here, then by all means play it. But there is a spray of different position out the back there, and
yep.
Oh, yeah, no, that was worth playing. Fair enough.
Yeah,
tight, of course.
She obviously felt that it was.
Yeah, I think that path was wider than I thought, where she could have, got the bowl, and of course the jack was squeezing out the side to her position.
So Aggie, can she draw another one here? She likes it. She's watching pretty closely.
Oh, she's pretty consistent. Once she puts one there, she can certainly put another one there. Needs to finish though. Not sure that it's made it, but Leslie's clapping.
Let's have a look here. Out comes one. Oh, yeah, they're going to measure.
The second shot is really important here. If it is only one, I mean, at the end of the day, both teams are in the same position of needing to score on that last end.
Absolutely.
Of course, Bridge Park, having that 1 point advantage would they'd get away with dropping a one.
Well, I think it's the Carlton Cornwall bowl here.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I think there was a bit of wishful thinking around that, but you don't want to make a mistake, and so.
Yep, peace of mind counts for a lot. You want to feel like you've given it everything.
So a little bit of discussion about the length.
So Bridge Park take the lead once again, 12-11 with one end to play.
So you would typically say whoever scores on this end wins the game, unless of course it's one to Carlton Cornwall and then we're into an extra end. But what a great final it's been. Really good bowls. A lot of changing ends. Some of the shots well played. Some of the shots a little lucky, but even so, as you said, you've got to be up to enjoy it, and these are all pretty highly skilled players. So
yeah, and we talked about it earlier in the game as well, the concept of winning ugly, and it's not to say it's been an ugly game for the Carlton Cornwall team by any means. They've certainly had some great shots, but sometimes it's not just the conditions, that you'd be playing ugly to. Sometimes you might just not be getting a rink, and if you're not finding it, then that concept comes back into play again.
That's right. Very well put. And I would say objectively, Bridge Park have played the better bowls through most of the game, but it's not about who plays the best bowls. It's who gets the results, and that's not to diminish Carlton Cornwall at all. They've played well.
Yeah.
But they've typically been searching for the shots more than Bridge Park. Bridge Park have tended to have the shots after the leads and twos have finished.
They've probably been not only chasing the scoreboard but chasing the shots on the head as well. And what a game!
So wonderfully Akaruru and Lisa. If we are, this is again a longer end, and again looking to try and make sure you're up, and she's just overplayed her hand there. So early advantage to Bridge Park, very, very early advantage. What can Philly do with her second bowl here? Is this the bowl that sets the tone for the end? Front toucher here would be pretty decisive for either team.
Absolutely.
And keeping in the game, and Philly's close here.
Good line. She's been brilliant, actually. I think these last couple of ends, she's been digging deep.
Yep, that's pretty good. Yeah, gets a clap from Aggie Motu. So, 2 shots Of course, it's only one that really matters.
That's it. And I think that's what Carlton Cornwall has done really well. You know, we talk about consistency being a really good, advantage for winning a game, but also the timing of bowls. And I think Carlton Cornwall have done that really well. The timing of their effective shots have been key.
Yeah, Lisa will be disappointed with his second bowl. She made the correction to try and reduce her weight, but she's just reduced it too much. So advantage still with Bridge Park as Andrea Wilson plays her first bowl on this last end. She was heavy on the last end. I think she's played better weight this time. This looks like she's close here.
Yeah, this won't be in the ditch anyway. Beautiful spot, well played.
Yep, nicely done. Good number two's bowl, metre over. So 3 shots now to Bridge Park, but it's only one that makes a difference really here, and there's still enough room for Joe Cheng to draw a shot here. Here we go. Looks quick to me.
Yeah, it does.
Looks very quick to me.
I think the line's good.
Yep. Yeah, well, she's got the line now. So Aggie just, encouraging Andrew Wilson, just draw me a shot. Nice action, isn't it?
Beautiful.
Yeah, really smooth, just nice, good efficiency. Aggie's down on her haunches watching this one.
Yeah, she's close again.
She's very close to the jack here. She's very close to Jack. Leslie McClendon calling her on. That's a great bowl. Well played, Andrew Wilson.
Yeah.
Two screamers, really.
2 great bowls, and she's been so steady throughout the game. Certainly had the advantage of the twos.
Right, so that would have been, I presume, the bell for the men's game, which both of those semi-finals finished. Closer here from Joe Cheng. Closer here from Joe Cheng. Is she going to get there? No, she's not. Just short.
Oh, both bowls had the right line. There's still room around that for Leslie.
So Bridge Park holding 4 here. Of course, as I say, it's only the one shot that really matters for them. But nevertheless, it's a handy position to be in when you've got all the bowls around the head. As Leslie plays her first bowl, and Aggie's watching this one pretty closely as well. Is she around Joe Cheng's bowl?
I think she might run out of speed.
Yep.
I think that line's actually perfect. She would have got around the bowl with an extra matter weight.
Probably not a bad home there in terms of just, closing off, a run shot.
Yeah.
But there's still room to draw there as Judy plays her first bowl.
Yeah, not easy, but certainly there. Wouldn't take much for
Can she find her way through there?
Clean run onto the shot bowl.
She does.
Oh, still might be one down.
Yep.
What a great bowl, but at the end of the day, no change.
No, still 1 to Bridge Park.
And we'll have to start from scratch next bowl.
Absolutely. Right, Leslie McClendon. Is this her last bowl of this final? Are we playing the last end, or are we going to see an extra end? Nothing would surprise me in this game. We've had everything.
That's it. It will come down to the very last bowl.
She's close. She's around that bowl. She just misses the jack, which so Carlton don't have a bowl past the jack, which is which means they're pretty much going to be drawing, I think, to find their way into an extra end. Not that that's a bad thing, because we know that Judy and Linda are placing great bowls. What does she do here? Oh, my Lord.
Oh, she might have just run through the gap. Well,
wow.
I tell you what, this is probably the first time that the luck just hasn't fallen their way.
That's right. Yeah, two brilliant bowls from Judy.
Yeah.
Either of them would have been well deserving of the shot.
Absolutely.
And she's sat the shot bowl and just not sat it out far enough, and then she slipped between the shot bowl and the jack.
Oh, she couldn't have played those much better.
So Aggie will be, ultimately, draw the shot.
Yep.
You've got one, but if you can draw the shot here, you've got all the back. So if you can draw the absoluta here, then you again limit the options for Linda. because you don't want to give the shot away. So let's see what Eggie does here. She drew a great shot on the last end.
Yeah, she did.
So let's see what we've got in store. The forehand side. Yep, I think she's just looking to try and cover here. Leslie giving her a little clap. Starting to break in now. Beautiful, beautiful speed.
Yeah, the speed is spot on. What can Linda do? What tricks are up her sleeve?
She's played some very accurate bowls, and she's played some inaccurate bowls and got good luck. Let's see what she does this time. She's playing with weight. She's attacking. She's looking to, I think, play up there. Look to turn a bowl. She's close.
Oh, through the gap.
She gets through the hole.
Oh, she's got the jack. Where's it gone? And the pink bowl's gone with it.
One down. Wow.
What a shot. That was absolutely no luck at all. That was clean as you like.
And courageous.
Very classy.
They had no back bowls. Now, Leslie saying to Aggie.
Wowee.
We've had it all, Terry. Honestly, that was just top drawer stuff.
Yeah.
Top drawer stuff.
Absolute class, especially under the pressure. The game was lost as it sat.
Right, so Aggie now. She'll be looking for that pink bowl. She gets the pink bowl. Oh, no. Someone moving just behind.
Aggie is more than capable of resetting herself, though.
Yep. Right. Here we go. Can she play the bomb?
She's walking up after it.
She's walking after it. She's close.
Will she be looking for the pink
bowl?
bowl?
She's close. Yes, she's got it. She's got it. Unbelievable.
This is amazing to watch.
What an amazing finish to this game.
And she liked it too.
Oh, she did. She liked it. She knew. She knew she was in the zone.
Yeah.
She was following it straight away.
Well, the good news for Bridge Park is that they're not going to drop a 2 and lose the game here. The worst that will happen for them is that there's an extra end. So that's a great position for them to be in.
Absolutely. At the moment, they're probably holding about 4 shots, but that doesn't matter, as you said, Terry. They've got the one that they need to win the game.
Yeah.
And now Linda Ralph, can she draw the absoluter here?
They'll be holding their breath. Both teams will be holding their breath.
She's well capable. She's dropped her head as she let it go. Well,
is she going to promote a bowl?
Well, she's looking to sit. Oh, she's running at it. Well, no, it's Bridge Park's final. It's Bridge Park's final. Yeah, she obviously felt she couldn't find a line in there, so she was looking to play with weight up to those bowls to try and sit them. And the way she'd been playing in the game, that could have well been the case. But unfortunately for her, it's Bridge Park who win this game. The smile that we're so used to from Philly Akaruru is there. So it's Philly Akaruru, Andrea Wilson, Leslie McClendon and Aggie Motu from the Bridge Park Bowling Club who win this Bowls Auckland Women's Champion of Champion Fours final. 2 Champion of Champions in a row for Aggie Motu. Terry Blackburn, what a final.
Yeah, it certainly had all the drama. I'm looking forward to seeing what the men have in store. But for now, congratulations to the Bridge Park Bowling Club. We will see you back around 3 o'clock.
Yes, and condolences to the runners-up, Linda Ralph, Judy Wong, Jo Cheng and Lisa Appleyard. What a fantastic performance. Trailed for most of the game, got back into it, and you couldn't have got a more superb last end for us to commentate on. So congratulations to both teams, but on the day it is the Bridge Park team skipped by Iggy Motu who are the 2024 Bowls Auckland Women's Champion of Champion Fours winners.